This is something that I'm gonna do with pork and chicken because some people like pork, some people like chicken, some people like to have that choice.
I like both.
You do like both?
I want both.
Now, if you wanted to, now a lot of people are spatchcocking their chickens right now. You can take these cutters, go right down along the backbone on either side, and just basically take this strip of meat out and use that for stock. You could boil it down for stock or whatever you want to use it for. Then you could lay that chicken open. A lot of people think that they cook better like that. I like it. You like it. I like the beautiful, complete bird. We're gonna cook it on a smoker. It has brine. What happens when you brine a turkey or a chicken or a fish? You get that salt in there. What happens when the salt gets in there? It retains that moisture and taste.
Delicious.
Taste.
Delish.
Delish. Here's what I'm gonna do. This is fairly common. Now with this pork, a lot of people use mustard as a binding agent to keep your, whatever your dry rub may be on there. It doesn't affect the taste hardly at all. You would think that mustard, with its tangy taste, would have a lot of flavor here that it would impart when you're smoking it. It really doesn't, but it does add a little tang.
Delish.
It's not what you would consider a traditional mustard taste. If you don't like mustard, there's not going to be any problem here. You're not going to taste mustard outright. You're going to taste the smoke. You're going to taste the dry rub. So I'm going to just cover this area. So every square inch of this little guy will have a sticky area where I can apply my dry rub. Now I am very liberally going to come in here. I want that flavor to really come through. Yeah, we're going to put a tray under here to keep our dry rub from going everywhere. So now let's turn it up on its side. You want every bit of area covered. And we'll get every side of this. Make sure every bit of area is covered. That's a pretty yellow cloud right there. It's a beautiful yellow cloud. And some happy dry rub lays right against the edge of that yellow cloud. It's beautiful.
Yes, it is beautiful.
Just put that paint on there. Just put it on there just like it's the real thing. That could be a tiny cabin right there. That could be a bird.
I'm glad we're only doing one. We'll be here all night.
Look at that beautiful red snow. Now, we always want to keep the fat on the top. Do not forget that. So when that cooks, that fat just goes down and kind of runs down the side of it while it's cooking. And it all becomes
Yummy.
this beautiful, wonderful smell. When that smoke gets rolling and this thing's sitting out there, oh, it's just a beautiful thing. So again, this may seem like a lot, but you think about what happens when that bark on top cooks up. Oh, look at that.
Looks delish.
That's what I want my pork to look like. Oh,
It's an art piece for you, isn't it?
it's an art piece.
That's right.
So we're gonna put this on the smoker at about 235 degrees. I'm telling trade secrets here, for about 11 hours. Now this is about a 6-pound deal. If you were gonna go much more than that, you might wanna turn your time up a little bit more, but low and slow. So what I'm gonna do now with my pretty little chicken that has been brined, and again, that's gonna really, with that salt, it's gonna retain the moisture more. Now, you have seen our brine recipe before, but we will put it on the full screen for you. I use this for fish. I use this for my turkeys. I use this for just about anything that I smoke. So now I'm gonna do the same thing here. So now we're gonna liberally take our dry rub, belly down first because we wanna end up breast up. And we want full flavor.
Flip.
Good. So I put a little olive oil on here. You can put whatever you want. Sometimes I use sesame oil. And we don't care if the wings are out a little bit. Flies away. If it gets away, that's on me.
That's right.
So again, very liberally, I want to apply this. I want that taste to really sink down in there. Now when this fat starts to render and starts to come out and drip, and those flavors go on the, oh, isn't that exciting?
Yummy, yes it is.
So this is a typical barbecue for us. Now in a minute we're gonna make some sides. We're gonna do some baked beans. We're gonna do some potato salad. and some other things. But right now, we have to take these to the smoker because it's time. So, I'm giving out trade secrets here. But with this guy, about 6 pounds, it's gonna be $235 for about 11 hours. This chicken, on the other hand, the great thing about some of the new smokers or the old smokers, you get that thing up to about 375, 380. Keep an eye on the internal temperature, obviously, but once you get to 165, you're good to go. A lot of times, this chicken can be done in 70, 80 minutes, but the internal temperature is what the important thing is. Now the only thing we have to do is get these guys smoking. One more thing, a lot of people use different types of wood on their smoker. Something that I really like and goes well with this particular dry rub is hickory. I love hickory. Sometimes I'll use apple, sometimes I'll use peach. Different things for different recipes, but for pork and chicken, my go-to is hickory, sometimes with a little apple. One thing you might notice earlier, we wrapped this up and put it into a cooler. It's now almost still too hot to touch 2 hours later. So let's pull our pork and we'll show you how we get that ready for consumption. Now, first of all, let's set that down here and look at that. This is what
It's beautiful.
you want. You want that perfect bark. You want the bone to be coming out. Look at this. The bone is now officially out. That bark should be absolutely, it's kind of hard over here. It's still soft over here on the fat.
That's the good stuff.
Look at that. Here's the best bite right here. Taste that right there.
I just took some too.
Is it edible?
That's amazing.
Oh. There is magic in pork and smoke.
Oh yeah.
It's just magic. I'm gonna let you, if you will, show off your pulling skills. Now, some people like a pork plate. In Western Kentucky, I used to love to go to certain places out by the lake. And there's one particular place that has,
Not as good as this though.
it's pretty close. But this is what I strove to do years and years ago to get close to what they do. Now, there's many things that you could do at this point. You could leave it plain. This is fine, just like it is. But for the crowd that is coming over here, they're gonna want these on sandwiches. So what I'm gonna do is just to add a little more flavor, I'm gonna go ahead and put just a little bit of dry rub throughout this. So we're gonna put just a little bit of some barbecue sauce in there. Not a lot, I don't want it sopped up with it. But this is not a really thick, syrupy barbecue sauce, but it does really lend flavor to it. And it just keeps that moisture in there. There's still another probably hour out. I think we're gonna have to sample this very shortly before they get here, just to make sure.
Yeah, we can eat again. We can eat twice.
Yeah, we can eat twice. The chicken should be done. Let me tell you one little trick about smoking. If you're just beginning, don't be alarmed if you find some pink in your meat. Always use your meat thermometer. Smoking creates what they call a smoke ring. There will be pink. Make sure you're up to temperature or above. But if you see some pink in there, that's the nature of smoking. Now, our chicken is going to be well above the 165. It'll probably be 170, 175. And our pork is well above the 160 that is safe. It's probably 175, 180. But it's done, it's beautiful. We know when to take it off because we've done this about 60 million times over the years.
Yes.
And we don't get to eat our own stuff very often, so this is a treat. Now, as usual, when we're in our kitchen, we're making a show about what we're actually eating tonight. I want you to take a look
Oh, wow.
at how moist that is, how absolutely wonderfully moist that is. Look at the juice pouring out of there. That's what happens when you brine your chicken. So we're pulling out those juicy pieces of chicken.
Wow.
Oh, I can't really stand it. You gotta try the sandwich.
Yummy.
You're taking baby bites.
Delish.
I'm just gonna have a big plate of this in a little while.
Me too. Chicken?
I want you to look at the moisture in this chicken. Take a bite of that. Did you get some skin?
Oh, wow. That's delish.
And the flavors just keep on coming.
That's delicious.